What is going on, everyone? Dave with Daveford FC here. I am the chairman slash the owner slash the manager slash everything about Daveford FC. Well, I do have a chairman that actually knows a little bit about football, Dr. Abdullah. Anyway, he's like sort of like the money. I've already invested all my money, so I'm basically broke and working for a salary now. We are in session 7 now. God, we're already in almost mid-swing of season 2. We are in Vanarama National. And let's look at the finances. I always like to start off with looking at the finances. So the overall balance, we're sitting a little over $2 million. Last time we left off at about $1.91 million. Last month was a pretty good, last couple of months we've made about another $100,000 profit. Everything is in the green. We are making money this month already. We have a great season so far for profit. As of we've got $545,000. That will grow to probably I would say at least $1 million. Hopefully by the end of the year. We have a very healthy transfer budget, as you can see, 1.497. It hasn't touched. I haven't touched it. It hasn't moved. So all of the players that I've brought in for this season, the couple players that I have brought in are either on free transfers from other teams as in expired contracts, or I just bring them in on non-contract offers anyway, like I did with our backup goalie. So payroll, we're still sitting at $21,000 a week. Nothing has changed. We are able to go up to $29,900, almost $30,000 a week. So finances looking great, guys, looking great. All right, so our stadium is coming along rather nicely. It will be done in June of 2018, June 29th, 2018, about another year and a half from now. Our sponsor is Barnley. We have no players that we've loaned from them. We haven't had to. And they actually have some pretty good players that I can get on loan, but I decide not to because I don't want the extra players on the roster that are going to be looking for play time, and I don't want to really destroy my affiliation status with Barnsley. All right. So as you guys can see, we had our training facilities and our new youth facilities cut out from under us because of we're having our new stadium built. It is going to be a maximum of 7,000 seats. I was actually hoping for a little bit larger stadium than that. But anyways, we didn't have to take any debt, guys. Dr. Abdullah Al-Hamadi, he is basically an oil tycoon, and we've actually gained the nickname the Manchester City of these semi-professional teams. So anyways, the reputation that we have. So we're going to have the stadium built. I'm trying to have as much money built in. Like I said, we didn't incur any debt. We did have a big negative balance after the stadium was announced. We were at like negative $450,000, and then the doctor came to the rescue with some of his oil money, injected it into the team, put $2 million in, and now we're back up to about 1.5 at the beginning of the season, and then we've made $500,000. So we're in pretty good shape. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at our loanees. We've got 2 kids on loan right now, James Mooney and Connor Davis. They're both hurt. Nothing I can do. Their facilities are probably better than ours, so there's really nothing I can do. All right, for scouting, let's take a look at scouting. Our 2 scouts, we've got Mr. Seymour and Mr. Jeff Smart. Both of those guys have been chugging away, finding all kinds of talent in England, and they've actually, in just a little over a year, they've brought in information on over 2,100 players. And this is actually how I find all of the players for the team. So this is the way I want to do it. And if we also play other teams in our conference, I always scout other players too. So that's how I picked up our goalie. I was like, man, this guy blocked, 20 shots on target. We got to bring this guy. And he had an expired contract with this team. So what did I do? I basically stole him from Margate. So I know that's not going to happen once I get up into the professional status. You won't see any more expired contracts, I'm sure. Maybe very rarely, but now once I get up to the professional status, I'll have to start burning through that transfer. So, but I hate to do that. I don't like to spend transfer. I like to save it for players that really warrant, spending transfer money. All right, our staff is still the same. We have still the best scouting in Vanarama, which is okay. We really don't need 2 scouts, but we're paying them $230 a week. It's not like it's not like it's going to break us or anything. All right, let's take a look at our under-18s team. Our under-18s team this year actually did fairly well. They got to the second round of the 18s FA Cup. They were beat, but our 18s team is sitting in 8th place in Group 5. That's pretty good. There's probably 20, 25 teams in this group. So for having a shitty youth system, our youth team is actually doing pretty good, and my youth coordinator is actually coaching both the 18s and the 21s. We won't worry about, until I can start getting some youth facilities upgrades, I'm not going to hire a staff, because there are requirements for different youth ratings, and until we have a youth rating where we have to have 18 coaches and 21 coaches, we just won't do that. All right, but the goal is long term, guys. The goal is to have a great youth system like Manchester United and City and Arsenal and all those guys. All right. So our 21s team, a hodgepodge. I mean, we don't even have enough to make a squad, so we're always taking kids out of the 18s to play, and they barely have enough to have a squad as well. But our under 21s is in 9th place. I mean, our under 21s, we are not actually a registered 21s, I guess, to where we're not getting into the 21 Cup and stuff. But anyways, we're sitting in 9th place in Group 5. Not too bad. I don't have any expectations of the youth system yet. I just don't. But the goal is to have a good youth system. All right, now let's take a look at our schedule. Now remember, we left off last time where we played a very fierce rivalry game against Oxford City. Oxford City was promoted with us into Vanarama National, and we have a very fierce competitive rival with them. So we finished last video where we won 3-1. We were at home. We left off in good shape. Now we had another game versus Aldershot, an away game. We won 3-1. And it looks like we had Bell Baggy scored 2 goals. Arango scored a goal. He had an assist, and Sheringham had 2 assists as well. Great game. Abdullah Bell Baggy got player of the match. Next, we played Torquay. Torquay, we played at home. We actually lost this game 1-2. The crowd was pissed off. They were throwing all kinds of Guinness beer mugs onto the Dungeons pitch. I mean, it was not a good scene. We had 1 assist by Liam Slade, of course, and Fraser Frank scored our goal. Our defender scored our goal. Anyways, we lost. It was a bad. Actually, they scored early twice, and then we just couldn't. Fraser scored. We just couldn't score again. So 1-2. Then we had another game away versus Wrexham. And Wrexham damn near killed them. Anyway, Wrexham, we played away. It was a 1-1 draw. Sheringham had the assist. Southwell had the goal. Came back a couple days later. We played Lincoln at home. We got a 2-1 victory. And Gardner got a red card. Then he got a suspension. And that was, I believe it was pretty late in the game. So we were already ahead by that point. But Gardner did have an assist. Anthony Cook, Dale Southwell, they scored our goals. McLean had an assist, and Dale Southwell got player of the match. A couple days later, we played Worcester, and that was an away game. It was a 2-0 victory. Callum Driver was player of the match, and we had Aaron McLean scored a goal, Courtney Cameron scored a goal, and then the assists were off of Callum Driver and Dale Southwell. Next game, just a couple days later, we played Braintree at home. It was a 3-2 victory. Abdullah Belbaghi was the player of the match again. Kane Felix, Charlie Sheringham had 2 goals. Belbaghi had 2 assists with a 9.0 rating, and Southwell came in with another assist. Now, this is the last game that we had was against Grimsby. It was a 1-1 draw away. And let's see. Player of the match was James McCown on Grimsby. We did not deserve, even though we drew, we just did not deserve to have the player of the match. Gardner he was back from suspension, had a goal, and Belbaghi had an assist. It was a pretty horrible showing, but the weather was horrible. It was raining, and that's probably why we drew. A bunch of pansies, you know. So now we've got Maidstone in the FA Cup. We are in the 4th round qualifying. This is our first Cup game of the year, and we are going to play this game in just a second. But before, I want to show you guys the table standings. Now, remember, we were in first place at the end of last video. Everything was going good. Wah, wah, wah. Look at that. We are now in 2nd place, guys. Woking has been destroying Vanarama National. We were so far ahead of them on a goal differential. We had like an 18 goal differential when they had a 10 goal differential, but over the last 6-7 games for this session, Woking has just turned on the afterburners, and they literally have not lost a game, guys. They're sitting at 17 games played. They've got 12 wins, 5 draws, 0 losses, and a 24 goal differential now. They are now ahead of us in goal differential, which is not a good thing, and they're sitting on 41 points. They, in our tie that we just had, our draw, they actually overtook us. So we did dip down to 2nd also with the 2 games that we had here. We did with Torquay and Wrexham. We did dip down the 2nd there as well, because Woking has been on our back. They've been on our back door the entire season, and they're the team to beat right now. They really are. They are at 0 losses. So we are at 17 games played. We have 12 wins, 3 draws, and what's killing us is 2 losses. But hey, guys, I mean, we're not even halfway through the season, and we've only got 2 losses. I mean, we are doing a lot better than what our expectations are. Our expectations are to reach the playoffs. We are more than reaching the playoffs. I do feel that we will hopefully win the league. I'm hoping we will get this silverware. So, anyways, Woking is now in first place. We are in the promotion scene still. We are now at our goal of reaching the playoffs. So we do have a pretty nice point cushion, as you can see. We're sitting on 39 points, and Eastleigh is sitting at 31. So we've got a little bit of a point cushion here, and I'm hoping that will expand and expand. And I'm hoping that Woking can start losing some fucking games. I mean, Jesus, man. Woking is hot. We play Woking in a couple weeks, and that is going to be one of the games in the next video. We're going to actually have two live games, commentated games, in next video. So, all right, guys, let's go ahead and head out to the pitch, and it is time to play our next game, FA Cup 4th round qualifying versus Maidstone. All right, so our roster for today's FA Cup game, we are going to be running same goalkeeper. Chris Lewington's going to be in the box. He's got the hot hand. Our defenders on the left is going to be Callum Driver. In the middle, we are going to have Tom Gardner and Liam Slade. And on the right, we are going to basically substitute Fraser Franks for Matt Fish today. In the middle, On the left, we are going to be taking out Courtney Cameron and switching him out with Kane Felix. On the right, we're going with the hot hand and with Bell Baggy. He's even had several player of the matches as of late. In the middle, we're going to have John Arango. That's a no-brainer. He's our advanced playmaker. And we are also going to switch out Stuart Lewis. He's usually our ball-winning midfielder, but for this game we are going with Byron Lawrence. Now up front, we are going to be attacking with our deep-lying forward, Charlie Sheringham. He will be replacing today Aaron McLean. Then we'll be running Dale Southwell, no-brainer, at our advanced forward position. On the bench, we can have 2 more players on the bench because this is an FA Cup game. Normally in the Vanarama National we can only run 5 on the bench. Now we can run 7. So we are going to have Elliot Parrish as our backup goalie. Our backup defenders will be Lloyd Harrington, Fraser Franks. Our backup midfielder will be Stuart Lewis, and we will not be able to have Lewis Montrose, so he will be sitting in the stands watching the game today. Anthony Cook, Courtney Cameron, they will be our wingers on the bench for this game, and Aaron McLean will be our striker watching the game. So the teams are on the pitch. Daveford FC is favored to win the game today. And let's see, Maidstone starts with the ball. Daveford FC has the ball back, Sheringham into Southwell into the box, and shoots wide right of the goal. About 15 minutes gone in the game, and the score is still 0-0, and Daveford FC with 62% of the possession in the game. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Maidstone with a corner kick into Manny Perry, heads it in, first goal of the year. Daveford FC is reeling. Daveford FC has the ball. Felix is pushing it back up into the middle. Gardner with a long shot, intercepted. 2, Maidstone, they have the ball into the box. Mark scores. Daveford FC is down 0-2. Oh, the goal is disallowed. The referee has thrown the flag up. Daveford FC is in trouble. What in the hell is going on with Daveford FC? Arango has the ball into Sheringham on the right flank, into Lawrence in the middle. Arango, and the ball is stolen by Maidstone, and they're pushing it up. Stolen by Daveford FC. Belbaghi on the right wing, pushing it in. Man of the match. Couple times you better do something. Arango's totally clobbered. No call there. And Makaka is getting it into McLaughlin, and Marks is going to shoot it, and Sheringham with a great block. Arango now has the ball and is going to push it up the left flank, but of course not. Our best player kicks it out of bounds. Arango into Lawrence. Southwell wide open, and Southwell gets one back. The score is now 1-1. Daveford FC at home. The crowd is going wild. Daveford FC is on fire for this part of the game. All right, Rafferty kicks it out, long ball. Felix actually gets it, and Arango gets the ball. Wow, how are they hot for this part of the game? Anyway, Southwell shoots. Oh, and the ball was across the line. Southwell gets his second goal of the game. Daveford FC is now up 2-1. Holy cow. Daveford FC now at the half. The marching band is on the field. Anyway, Daveford FC, guys, that was a great comeback. And thank goodness that goal was disallowed. The ref put the flag up. Holy cow. Daveford FC in the 4th round qualifying for the FA Cup against Maidstone. We are now up 2-1. I think we're going to keep everything the same, and let's start the second half. All right, so Daveford FC has the ball. Lawrence gets it over to Belbaghi, up to the middle of Sheringham. Belbaghi back on the right. Nice ball skills by Belbaghi, but the ball is knocked out of bounds. 50 minutes gone by. Gardner with the ball. Lawrence in the middle. Up to Arango. Nice lob into Sheringham. Off of the goalie, but Felix comes up, follows it up, and gets his 4th of the year. Daveford FC with a 3-1 lead at home in the dungeon. So we are at about 60 minutes now. Let's make a couple substitutions. Let's see who's not playing the best. Looks like Tom Gardner. He's been struggling kind of late. He's been getting a lot of yellow cards as well. Let's go ahead and put in. We'll put Lloyd in the center position. He's a better center back than what Fraser would be. And let's see, Matt Fish. He's having a pretty. I guess it's not. They're not having poor games, but They're about a 7 rating. I don't think anybody's so tired they can't continue. So let's just go ahead and sub Tom Gardner right now. We'll look at about the 70-minute mark. So we're getting close, actually. It's 67 minutes, 68, 70. Looks like one of their players, Andy Rafferty, has picked up an injury. Thank God it wasn't one of my players. John Aranga is not having a good game. Well, he's not having a bad game. So let's go ahead and get Stewart in there. Stewart can play the... he can definitely play the advanced playmaker role. We'll also sub out Matt Fish with Fraser Franks. We'll make a double substitution. 71 minutes. Substitutions are on the field. Stuart Lewis and also Fraser Franks. We're sitting at about 84 minutes. Looks like Callum Driver just picked up a facial injury. We'll go ahead and play him the last couple minutes. Nice shot, nice lob. It was blocked. It looks like we are going to have 3 minutes of stoppage time. And it looks like we have survived the 4th round of the FA game. Callum Driver, unfortunately, our rock star left defender, does look like he's got a facial injury, probably from a header or something like that. So, Byron Lawrence with the assist, Sheringham with an assist, Kane Felix with a goal, Southwell with 2 goals, missing the hat trick. The player of the match is Byron Lawrence. Great 9.0 rating, and I'm glad that we switched out Byron Lawrence as well. So that was a great switch out. Usually we have in Stuart Lewis, but the switch actually warranted itself. So, all right, guys, there you go. That's the end of this session. Please feel free to leave a comment down below. Also, feel free to like the channel, like this video, subscribe to the channel. You guys, thank you so much for watching, and until next time. Happy gaming, and we'll see you on the pit.